Well, howdy do, everybody. Week 5's in the book, and this is the NFC East Show. Philly Sports Guy is on a top secret G14 classified. No, he's at the Philly playoff game. Why am I bullshit?
Yeah, let's face it.
What
are they up? What are they up? 2-0 against the Braves?
I think so. I think this the clincher. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
If they win, they clinch.
Or is it? Or are they 2-1?
Last time I saw it was 2-0, but
no, the Braves had won one.
Oh, did they win? Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go Braves.
Well, let's talking about 1-1. Not us.
Yeah.
Not this weekend.
Ooh.
Oh, it was bad, boys. Let me tell you, it was bad.
Okay, hold on. Well, before we get the truth, Pork Rind, you had the first game of the week.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't
Chicago, right?
I don't know if you want to call it a game, but yeah, we did.
A contest.
Yeah, more of a butt whooping. But
yeah, so last week, true, and help me out, because I do suffer from CRS. That can't remember shit. Yeah, can't remember shit. I know we were talking about, and I wish you were here last night or last week,
I know,
because I talked about you a little bit. Okay, we brought up how the team was complaining about the enemy, about how he's being too hard. You're hurting my feelings. I need a safe space.
Yeah, that was during training camp.
And then also, Ron said how they were gassed. Yeah. The week, and this is the week before.
It was against the Broncos. Yep.
Yes, and I wanted to ask you, like, is that of course, Thursday night football. You look good, by the way. I like the blackout that you had. I'll give you some props on that.
Okay.
Now, do you think, or what's your opinion about all this? Like, they're in the headlines for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, it seems like DC media just loves to beat us up. Whether it was Dan Snyder, I mean, we thought all that would go away, but in all seriousness, I think Ron Rivera does it to himself too, because sometimes he just has like that moment where he speaks and he's like, "Man, I should not have said that," and they DC media they will latch onto that and they will not let go. And yeah, there's some things that he said, like the whole Bieniemy thing. I love him. I mean, I think he's a heck of an offensive coordinator. I like the way, he's hard in practice. I like the way he's getting these guys in game shape. I mean, so that way they're not gassed. And I don't know. I need to see something on that sideline from Rivera. One of the guys from All Pro Reels, he's a photographer. He actually caught a picture. He got me last week during the game at some point during that blowout where I was standing beside myself and I just had my arms crossed and I looked miserable. And I put it on my Instagram story and I had so many people say, #the Ron Rivera look, because that's what he looks like on the sidelines. There's no emotion. And, I want the Ron Rivera that I saw when they had that HBO show when he was in Carolina and he was in the locker room just giving it to that team. And then they came out of the locker room after halftime and they came back and won that game. I want that motivator that Ron Rivera has in him. He I don't know. He hasn't been the same since, unfortunately, hate to say it, but, that cancer, he just hasn't been the same. I don't know if it's done something to him but I mean, then there's Jack Del Rio. I was excited when he came on because, we switched from a 3-4 back to a 4-3 where we've always been successful. And that guy's defense is vanilla. Like, we're still playing his defensive calls. It's like we're still in preseason. He doesn't call any like creative blitzes, nothing. And the one time that we did call blitz against Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts threw the ball down the field and got a grounding call. We needed that a little bit more.
It's funny you say that because I'm looking at the box scores. I mean, you guys had 3 sacks
last week.
Yeah,
last week.
But had 3 sacks.
But I mean, that was just that was Justin Fields holding on to the ball. It wasn't from blitzes.
Okay.
And I think we only called 1 blitz, and I think he burnt us for a touchdown.
And I see here that you guys had 10 rushes for 29 yards.
That's the other thing. We got down so fast that we got away from our game plan. And you can't expect to win a game only rushing the ball 10 times. You've got to have a balance. And, I feel like we need to rely on that run game a little bit more. But they just, from the get-go. I mean, we didn't get a first down until the second quarter. And then by then we were already down probably 17-0.
I'm looking at the box scores. It looked like it was 27-3 at halftime.
Oh, no, it was definitely 27-3.
Yeah.
And then we
by halftime, yeah.
And we started, and the first drive coming out of halftime, we got the ball and we scored a touchdown within 2 or 3 minutes. We drove the ball. I was like, where's this team at the entire first half? And by then, I mean, when you're down 27-3, there's not very many times you're going to come back. So especially when your defense can't stop Justin Fields or DJ Moore.
Now, and true, if you want to step in anytime. So to be fair, I had a show on Thursday, so I barely had an opportunity to watch the game. So
you didn't miss much.
Well, that's what I want to ask you, because of course people were chiming in the score, and right off the bat, I'm like, oh, I feel bad for Pork Ryan. He's there right now.
Yep.
My guy's there right now. Now I don't. We'll get to the Giants and of course the Cowboys' problem. What stands out to you? Because you guys are on a 3-game losing streak.
Yep.
Who do you guys have this week?
We've got Atlanta, and
Atlanta. They've been playing.
I think we're a 2.5 underdog. Yeah.
And to get back on track, and then if I'm not mistaken, we'll be playing each other here
after Atlanta. We've got you, and then we come home for Philadelphia.
Gotcha. So you got a little tough stretch as well. Now, so I know my problems with I know our problems as with the Giants. What's up with the Commanders?
It's our defense, man. I mean, our defense just isn't stepping up. Our defensive backs are just playing too soft. We're relying too much on our front four. Our linebackers, they're just. I knew our linebackers, and I really thought we improved on our defensive backs. But I mean, Forbes, he's a rookie. He's going through those growing pains. But just the whole defensive backs and the linebackers, they're playing not good football right now. And I mean, they're just, I don't know. Jack Del Rio's defensive play calling has been, I mean, I feel like he still thinks we're in preseason. So he just, it's very disappointing because I was really excited because I know some of the defensive, that he's had in the past with the Jaguars, with the Raiders. And I mean, I'm sure I think Baltimore, he was with Baltimore for a little while too. So, I mean, he's had some great defenses. And I honestly thought our offense was going to be, our weak spot on the team. I thought our defense was going to keep us in the games. But, I mean, this is the 3rd week in a row that we've given up 30-plus points. You just can't win football games like that.
Welcome to the club? Question mark?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it was very frustrating, and especially coming off of the loss against Philadelphia. I felt like we played a really good game against Philadelphia. I mean, we had opportunities to win. There's no doubt about that. And last week everybody thought it was a gimme game, and I was like, nah, it's a trap game. I was like, we should easily beat the brakes off of them. And then when I got the text message that Dick Butkus died, I was like, oh, there we go. I was like, this is the start of it. I was like, now they're going to come out there playing for Dick. So
Yeah.
Jerry, what's up, man? So Loops, who's a Cowboys fan, he says, is it true Chase Young wants to be traded or wants a trade?
I haven't heard that. I mean, I don't blame him if he does, but I haven't heard that. I actually, so during the draft this past year, we actually ran into Chase Young. He was doing a promo with his shoe line or whatever in Kansas
Wait,
City.
he was out in KC?
In Kansas City, yeah, he was.
Oh shit!
So we ran into him, we talked to him, and this was right after I think it was like the day of or the day after they came out and said that they weren't going to be doing signing him to his 5-year extension or whatever, and or his, what is it, 5th year?
His 5th-year option.
Option, yeah, not extension, option, and he's like, look, I get it, I just got to go out there and prove myself. So, and he's not had a bad start of the season. I mean, I feel like he's definitely got that motor running, and there's seems to be no signs of any lingering issues with that knee. So he's got that explosiveness and everything, but I just think we're relying too much on that defensive line to get to the quarterback, and we're not doing anything creative with our disguising our blitzes with our defensive backs or our linebackers. I mean, I would love to see Jamin Davis just run up the middle and get to the quarterback, but they haven't called a linebacker blitz once this year. So,
and again, I didn't watch the game, and I know you're talking about defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
What about offensive? How is Howell looking?
I mean, the kid's impressed me a lot. I mean, he's had one bad game, and that was against the Bills. I think last week, I think he threw for like over 50. I want to say he had over 50 throws. Like, I mean, it's just, when you're down that much, the defense knows what you're going to be doing. You're not going to be running.
It makes you one-dimensional.
Yeah. So it does, But
so you got anything?
What's that?
Oh, I'm just listening to everything he says, because that's pretty much what I was summing up when I was telling you last week. Coach Riverboat Ron is just not. I don't think he has the mental aspect of the game has escaped him totally. He is in a different zone right now, I think basically what they're doing is prepping Eric Bieniemy to take over this team, and it could happen this season if more losses. It was very glaring in the TV last week watching you guys play when they went to the owner's box. Usually owners are at least focused somewhat on the game. And I'm going to say it too. My owner was the same way, but they're sitting there smiling and laughing when you're losing by that much. It just hurts.
Well, I can tell you this: Magic Johnson wasn't happy because
Well, exactly. But you see when the TVs focus in on stuff like that as fans, you're just like, well, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because if they're not as angry as you, then there's something going on.
Yeah.
So now, how much power does Magic Johnson have?
I mean, he's a minority owner. I think he has like 6%. So, I mean, it's not.
You can just tell the owner or the majority guy, like, hey, I think we may want to.
Josh Harris is the majority owner. But, I mean, the one thing that he asked Josh when Josh asked him to be a part of it was, do you want to win? Because I don't want any part of this if you don't want to win.
Right.
So, I'm excited to have Magic because, obviously it's going to bring some free agents in. And once they get in the door, Magic's not going to let them walk out without a contract. So hopefully it'll help us out. But, I mean, just going back to, our draft this year, I really thought just from reading and seeing the guys, I thought they would make an impact on the team, and not one of our draft picks is making an impact at all.
Yep.
And it's frustrating because you see the Detroit Lions, and I mean, just about every one of their picks this year is making an immediate impact. And that's why,
to be fair, Detroit Lions, they kind of developed and grown their players through the draft. And it's not just the rookies, but I'm talking like the past drafts. and then of course help with the pickup of golf and
Oh yeah,
on the offensive side and with Swift. Although no, Swift's with Philly now.
yeah. Swiss
Yeah.
was good now,
Yeah.
but I mean they picked up Montgomery from the Chicago
Right.
Bears.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hate to say it about Ron because I really have a lot of respect for that guy. I mean, I've met him, and we've had some conversations back and forth, and we sent him our hog farmer coin when we found out his diagnosis of cancer and everything, and and to see that displayed behind him during an interview one time, that made us feel pretty good that us little guys made a difference in his in his life when he was going through some hard times. But at the end of the day, I mean, if you're not doing your job, I mean, you got to be held accountable. And I feel like you said, True. I feel like it's just the game is kind of like past him. Like he's just, I don't know. We need younger blood, and that's why I'm excited about Eric Bieniemy because, and same thing with Jack Del Rio. I think the game's kind of passed him up. I mean, we need some young blood in there. We need some creativity. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, you see him, he's working on his playbook a couple hours prior to the game. I mean, he's a good young coach too. And guess what? He was in our building. That's the thing that frustrates me the most is we had a lot of these young, good coaches in our building. And, unfortunately, they just find opportunities elsewhere. And then everyone
Well, they weren't just think in mind that they weren't ready at that time and space.
Oh no, they were ready.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, Sean McVay, he was ready, and then he went to LA, and then year 2 they went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Oh yeah, with golf.
Yeah,
No, with golf. No.
It's just that's the thing that frustrates me the most. And then I mean, even the coach from Matt LaFleur from Green Bay, I mean, they're in the playoffs consistently every year.
Yeah, those 3 guys were all coaches together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had
Where?
under Dave Gruden. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean we had it's my it's frustrating, but
It is what it is.
yeah, that's it.
Well, let's just go ahead and get it over with. We lost. We lost. Look, it was to be expected. I'm not shocked. I think we were, I looked at so many different lines. We were, or I would say Miami was like, 11 points. It was like, first I saw 9-point dogs, 10, 11, 11 and a half, depending on where you looked at.
I felt like the first quarter, it was pretty tough. I mean,
It was going that way.
yeah.
It was, yeah, but see, you know what? I love you guys. Thank you for that. Because for me, it was like, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
And then our rookie center went out. No, I'm sorry, Brennison, not the rookie center, because he was already injured. Injuries it's a part of the game.
Yeah, but it's
a brutal part of the game. Barkley was out another week. Thomas is out another week.
Yep.
And then, like I said, Schmidt was out. So our offensive line was basically put together with bubble gum and Scotch tape this week. Then our backup starting center, went out for a play, and then we pulled a guy in that we just promoted from the practice squad.
Yep.
And then, then we got like 3 false start calls in a row, and it was just, and again, our typical problem, lack of tackle. Couldn't tackle anybody. The running back had a 75-yard run.
Nobody touched him either.
Yeah. For that one play, we could have had flags on them, and he still would have, scored the touchdown.
Yeah, ran it right up. Yep.
Oh man. But Miami's the real deal. Not to take anything away from him. Daniel Jones got sacked 6 times. Now the box score will say 7, but Tyrod got that 7th sack. Oh, I'm sorry. He didn't get it. He received it. I should say that. He received it. And because of that injury, because of the last sack, Jones is out this week.
So I was going to ask you. So what's the prognosis on his neck? Like, what did they say?
They
It's
as far as I know,
or-
they didn't go into detail. Dable did do a press conference. I have yet to listen to it. But I do know that not Dable, Jones is out this week.
He's just getting ready.
He's
just getting ready for the following week when he plays the Commanders because he loves to eat us up. So.
Well, yeah, I'm actually I'm okay with sitting Jones out because Buffalo, their defense is no joke. Von Miller's back.
Yeah,
I mean that defensive front is crazy.
They had quite a few injuries on that defensive side of the ball last week against the Jaguars.
They did, yeah.
They lost 2 of their players, I think.
Oh, hold on one sec. He hasn't been ruled out yet. Sneaky, not looking good. That was a fake report. No, there was someone. I also did some reading that he was out. Matter of fact, let me double check on the stat line because I also did some reading on it. I appreciate you looking out, Austin. I appreciate you looking out. Hold on, let me see real quick. But yeah, but Barkley might be coming back.
About your lineman.
Oh, Thomas is still out.
Thomas Jones. Is it Thomas Jones or
Andrew Thomas?
Andrew Thomas. I knew it was okay.
So I'm looking at the roster. So apparently, he is not on here. But yeah, Rondo Robinson's out. Aziz is out on a hamstring. Evan Neal was limited on practice. McKeithen was limited on practice. McFadden, Bradwell, Bellinger, Barkley, Thomas, Schmidt, and Lemieux. Lemieux, Schmidt, and Thomas didn't. Yeah, basically. I should discuss who's there.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are pulling up practice players, practice squad players.
So Austin is saying a Giants account posted it, says it was a fake report. Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm holding out hope. Then.
And that's not the first neck injury he suffered either. So
no, but he came out and said it's completely different than what he suffered back in 2021 when they shut him down. Yeah, so it's a completely different. If I was Coach Dable, I would be like, look, just chill this week, relax, rehab. We'll need you for the Jets game. Tyrod can take this beating against the Buffalo Bills. And I'm gonna tell you. So when they brought Tyrod in, right, the first play, he's dropping back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Normally, when you do a 5-step drop, on that 5th step, the ball is gone. No, he's running to his right. He's scrambling. And again, this is just another issue of the offensive line that has been plaguing us all season long. And it's just, it's awful. I mean, the good thing was that 97-yard return for a interception for a pick 6.
Yeah.
I mean, we finally got 3 turnovers.
That was your first touchdown in the first quarter.
Yes. Yes. And then we finally got our first takeaway too, with Thibodeau getting the fumble.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's some things that we can hang our hat on, but there is so much work to do. And I got to say this real quick. I understand that people are getting tired of Dable saying I got to do a better job. It's all on me. The buck stops here. Blah blah blah. I think we need to flip that and appreciate the fact that he's taking accountability for how poorly the team is doing this year. He's not pointing fingers. He's not calling out players, although some people believe that he should. I like the fact that he's taking responsibility. He's being accountable. But the problem is so many people are going to be like, okay, now be better. Do a better job. You're saying it, but now do a better job. And I just wish it was easy to, to turn the call around, but it's not. There's so many, a plug and play that, how do you fix it? Look, we're not tackling well. I think our special teams did a decent job this game. We didn't fumble the ball. We played smart. We got away from the punt rather than trying to force to catch it. Again, our offensive line is abysmal. We can't get the ball to our superstars to make plays because Jones doesn't have the time. There's just, the blocking scheme has to change. I don't know. There's just so many things. And it's easy for me to be a Monday quarterback or a Tuesday quarterback, whatever you want to call it. But hopefully, we still got time. We could still turn around and, make a run. I'm still going to, my cup is always going to be halfway full.
Yeah, it's still early October.
Yeah.
But it's
we'll
see.
Passing the buck over here, going into Sunday night's football game, it was just one of the most hyped games of the week.
Yeah,
with one of the biggest, flattest tires there ever was. and I'm going to tell you, hearing all the pundits this week speak and everything else, and what frustrated me the most was the offensive coaching. It was abysmal. It was so horrid. You knew where the ball was going to be going. You knew who was going to be carrying the ball. You knew who was going to be catching the ball if the ball was going to be thrown towards them. Everything was just either a two-step drop out on the flat. Didn't matter if it was a tight end. Receivers running the same routes. I swear I thought Kellen Moore was still back there. and the thing that really was upsetting the most, especially after reviewing film, was that the coaching, the QB coach needs to step up his game. The offensive coach needs to step up his game, and that's Mike McCarthy. It was just you can see the lack of you can see the lack of discipline in Dak Prescott from his dropbacks. You can tell he was only off. Three guys are out there. He was only reading one guy the whole play. He wasn't looking left. He wasn't looking out. He knew where he was going to go when the ball was snapped. Now, was that because the defensive line was getting through? I don't think so. I think it was just more of, I'm in this position. I got to get the ball out of my hand. And it led nowhere. And then to come up with 3 picks, one is going to say, well, Michael Gallup, he tipped that ball, that went into the other. No. Sorry, you should have never made that throw. You should have never made that throw with that shallow cross. You had CeeDee Lamb to the right on that same play. You didn't throw it over there. It was just you knew where he was going to go with the ball. No discipline at all. And then to involve even further the officiating on both sides of the ball. It didn't matter. It's still plaguing the whole NFL.
Yeah.
The Kansas City, Minnesota game is just one of the biggest.
Oh, yeah.
And again.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And the replay, when they went into the replay of the Dallas Cowboys and they went into Van Der Esch's injury, where he was shoved in the back and pushed straight into Micah Parsons, all you hear about is the injury, and that led to the touchdown. And the thing is not one mention of that penalty. I was sitting there. You're literally pushing the kid from the back, pushing him down, straight down into Micah Parsons. And yet we're going to talk about the injury?
Yeah.
Come on, NFL. You can do better than that. And it was just in a whole array of things. And, if I'm sitting there as the offensive coordinator, if I'm sitting there as a QB coach, I got to have Dak Prescott in there, 24/7. I'm not even joking. You can't come out to the podium and tell me you're mad and then deliver an L the way you did. 100 and some yards passing, three turnovers,
161.
Yeah, it's just like you're in year 7. Year 7. You this is probably the best team. Reluctant of Zeke, but you've had all your weapons, you've had all the tools, you've had the defense. You got to commit, you got to do something, and you're not doing it. If you don't do it in the next 2 games, I don't know what's going to happen.
So I think it's funny that Tiki Barber said a few weeks back that he would take Jones over Dak any day, and 100%, and a lot of people would agree with him. And I say that to bring up this quote right here. I agree with Tiki. I personally would take Joe, and I'm not trying to slander against Dak. And one reason why I say that is because Dallas Cowboy fans don't even want Dak. And I mean, this quote right here, Dak can't beat good teams. Time for Trey Lance. Trey Lance couldn't even compete in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Trey Lance was what, number two, top 5 pick overall. And he got beat out by the last person drafted. Yeah. Mr. Irrelevant. And now, Jerry Jones got him over, and it just started a controversy. And I don't know if, I'm assuming that Dak doesn't pay attention to that, but I know for a fact, speaking as a former quarterback, anytime you throw a pick, like just one in your mind, you let your team down on a turnover. And then you add the 4 sacks. Then you add 2 more. Of course, one was tipped. Those happen. We don't want them, but they happen. But I saw the one where I want to say, I can't remember who he was throwing it to. And I think after that pick, I went to bed. I said, you know what? I'm enjoying this way too much. It's time to go to bed.
I stayed up the entire thing.
The whole thing. Yeah, I was like, I'll watch the replays. Hey, I got Monday off.
George Kittle is my new hero. Y'all saw that?
Yes, yeah, because he had that shirt and it said, F Dallas.
Yeah, F Dallas.
Look, the thing about Dak is, and actually the Dallas Cowboys as a whole, and I'm going to quote the late great Denny Green. We are who we thought they were, and they were not let off the hook. True, I love you. I love you to death. And yes, we're 1-4 right now. We probably won't even sniff the playoffs. But I'm separating you from the bunch because you're a realist. You talk how it is. But you got those Cowboy fans that are so hung up on this is our year. We're going to win the Super Bowl. And those are the same fans that punch the TV at the end of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Most
and definitely.
When I joked about it, but no, I do mean it. You know how I feel about the Dallas Cowboys. I hate them, loathe them entirely, right? But I do care about you, True. I don't want you beating up your TV, okay? But I mean, realistically, when I talk about my disdain for the Cowboys, of course I get the rebuttal. Oh, you're 1-4. You have no right to talk. I'm like, watch me, because of the fact that, and of course this is excluding you. Because of the talk of, Cowboy fans and Cowboy content creators, and no matter what I say or what I post, they want to revisit the score from, week 1. Week 1 is done and gone.
Yep.
And, now matter of fact, there were 2 videos that I know for a fact I saw that was burning Dak's jersey.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Like burning it.
Oh, there was worse videos than that.
I could only imagine. So bottom line is this is, I think the theme for Cowboy fans is the same theme that I go by for, since 2011. It's called patience.
Well, you have to be.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Be careful what you say to content creators like myself, because we will revisit it and we will have receipts.
Yep.
So, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox.
The thing, I try and explain to Cowboy fans is, okay, we're year 3 in the system with Mike McCarthy. 2020.
No, this is year 4, ain't it? This might be.
This is year 3.
Yeah, okay. Because we've got 4 years with Ron, and Mike came a year after.
Yeah, 20.
I'm gonna double check because I thought
2 with Kellen Moore. He had 2 with Kellen Moore, then got over the hump and let him go. So
this is year 4. 2020 McCarthy was there.
Yeah, we're 23.
Well, it's 2020,
Yeah, 2020.
2021, 2022. This is year 4.
Year.
Well, I'm thinking of it as 3.
Oh, I see what you're saying. 3
Yeah.
full years and this one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
now
that's where I'm going from. But
okay.
either way, this is year 3 of coaching, head coaching for the Dallas Cowboys. First 2 years, okay, I can get it. He's won 20 some odd games, combined. That's a lot of wins. You got to, 2 years, you have 22 wins, 23 wins before the season starts. Okay, you went 13.
Actually, he's before this year, he went 6-10, 2020, 12-5, 12-5.
Exactly. So 28 wins.
Yes, 30. Was that 30 wins? That's 30 wins because 24.
Yeah. 26, 30.
So
30,
you have
20.
you have those wins, right? And then everybody all of a sudden they want that they want that quick, it's just instant gratification, as we call it. Every fan and I want it too. Don't get me wrong, I want it too. But the first years with Kellen Moore, those are gone. Okay, whatever. Now you come in as a head coach. You're coming in as a play caller. What has changed since last year? There hasn't been none. Coach Quinn is still running the defense. What changes have we seen? What motions have you done to exceed expectations? And I haven't seen one yet. And that's me witnessing it firsthand, literally, at the games. Me on the sidelines looking at these guys, seeing the emotions. I'm looking at Dak Prescott in Arizona, and I'm 20 feet away from him. And I'm looking at the emotion. I'm looking at the intensity, and there was none. I'm looking at them. I'm looking at these guys face to face on the sideline, and I see Micah Parsons over there giving his heart out. I see DeMarcus Lawrence. I see the defense. Those are defensive dogs. That's what they do. On the offensive side of the ball, I see nothing. I don't see that fire, and I don't care what anyone says. I don't see these guys pushing each other. There's no conviction with these guys like I saw last year. And I don't know what the change is. I don't know if it's just like saying, hey, guys, well, we're having a rough – is it just because it's October, we've only played 4 games, 5 games, or, next week we're going to L.A.? What is it? I just have to see something come out of the coaches. And the coaches are really, really letting me down from what I'm seeing on the field. I mean, from special teams to the defensive side of the ball to the offensive play calling. I'm seeing all 3 sides just let me down. It's just – you can't go out there and expect to win between the 20s. You got to get in that red zone, and you gotta execute. And first and foremost, the offensive coordinator needs to get some more plays into Dak's head and get him out of the scheme of things of what he was running 2 and 3 years ago. You're an NFL quarterback. If we tell you to throw the ball, you throw the ball. Don't go up there and change the play. Whatever you do, you run the play we tell you to run it. You do not audible out of it. You execute what we tell you to execute. I'm getting tired of seeing the audibles. Get up there. I don't care what you see. Run the play. Stop running up the middle. Stop throwing at tight ends who can't catch the ball. I mean, seriously, guys. Okay, you count one ball. Okay, whatever. We throw you the ball several times. It touches your hand. You need to catch the ball. This commotion all week that I've been hearing already with CeeDee Lamb not being a number 1. The kid is a number 1 receiver. Dak's got to get him the ball. The kid was open so many times during San Fran. Now, was somebody shadowing him? Sure. But you're an NFL quarterback. You got to get him the ball. Somebody's a yard off that guy. You get him the ball. You let him take care of it after the play.
Yep.
And I'm just not seeing that. I don't see, I don't see any emotion on the sideline. I don't see these guys pumping each other up. And one of the biggest things is I don't see that fire like I saw with Zeke there. Zeke was that guy that went around and told the guys, I've got you. I've got you. Even though he might have not been getting too many yards, he was telling them, I've got you. I don't see that from Pollard. I don't see that from these other guys. It's just something needs to change, and these guys know it. Defensive side of the ball is doing their thing. And, again, the reason we went 14 down, but, again, we went 7 down, Dak turned it over on 3 and out. You can't do that to a defensive team.
Nope.
And then wears them down.
Yeah, you can't go 3 and out and then 3 and out.
Yep.
And then, okay, gain 1 first down at the end of the second quarter the time of possession was just I mean, look at it for yourself. It was it was horrendous. It was just like you're not giving the defensive side any time to rest.
Yeah.
If you want to be out there, you want to win the ball, you got to slow it down. You got to get some first downs. You got to move the ball.
Yep.
And we didn't do any of that against San Fran.
Yep. Chew up that clock.
Yeah, we didn't do any of that.
Yeah.
And Mike McCarthy's got to own up to it and just stop running the ball up the middle.
You know, speaking of Mike McCarthy, I when I heard that Kellen Moore was not going to be back this year, and that McCarthy is going to be calling the plays, right off the jump, I'm like, oh, he's on the hot seat.
Yep.
Because, you know, I could understand or I could foresee in the conversation he had with Jerry, you know, lighting a fire under his ass. And he's like, well, boss, if you're going to, you know, if I'm going to get fired, let me get fired my way. Let me call my plays. And then thus kind of moved Kellen Moore to, you know, bigger and broader views. But one thing I thought was funny, but not funny, was after the draft when they had their press conference, and Jerry said out loud, "Oh, we've always drafted well. It's the coaching." And McCarthy was sitting right next to him. And who calmed the storm? Steve, his child, his kid. Oh, he's joking. It's a joke. No, Jerry wasn't laughing and McCarthy wasn't laughing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a joke.
Nope.
And I want to be honest, I would love McCarthy to stay there because he's a great regular season coach, you know, and I would love Dak to stay there because he's a great regular season quarterback. But they just can't get over the hill in the playoffs. And this was the MO last year. You guys beat teams you were supposed to beat.
Yep.
But once you get in the playoffs, you guys were favored against Tampa. You guys beat the bricks off of Tampa. But then what happened when you went to San Fran? You got beat by Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep.
And I wish Philly was here. I'm gonna talk about him for 1 second here. I've seen him now 5 weeks. I watched a lot of his games. The kid got something.
Oh, he does.
You know, call him a game manager. He's winning games.
Doesn't turn the ball. He doesn't have one interception this season.
No. I feel confident by saying this. And again, this is a big if, and this is one of those hypothetical. And I wish Philly was right here so he can hear me say this. Had Brock Purdy not get hurt last year,
oh, they would have won. I
don't think Philly would be in the Super Bowl.
I don't think so either. I honestly don't think so.
I want them to have, you know, if we're not in the playoffs, okay, I would love to see the rematch.
Yeah.
Of Philly and San Fran. You know, hell, have it in Philly again. I don't care. I want the exact setup. Well, it'll probably be in San Fran because the way they're playing. Yeah. And I know they play each other this year. But Philly, I think San Fran would be more likely to get the home field advantage because, you know, Philly, they're finding ways to win, but that mojo is going to stop. You know, it's going to like break down towards the second half of the season. But I still see them being, you know, one of the top 2 seeds, if not home field, the second seed in the NFC, to where you have to go to Philly twice to get in the conference championship game. And I would love to see the rematch of San Francisco against Philly, just to set the record straight.
Not me.
Of course not you. Of course not you.
Like, yeah, and that was the thing that you know, going back to the game Sunday night, one of the things that was just really upsetting to me was the defensive play calling. You know, everybody's all, well, what would you have done different? It's like I said last week, containment, stay in your lane. That's all you have to do with this kid. That's all you have to do with any NFL team. Stop over pursuing.
Yeah.
Stop taking, you know, the fake. And hell, Detroit did it in the game earlier. San Francisco copied them and made a TD. It was just like, here we go, over pursuing. It's not staying in your lane. I'm just looking at these guys going, okay, It's just all about coaching right now, and the coaches aren't living up to what I thought they would be doing.
Now, do you think that if Jones ends up getting rid of McCarthy, do you think Quinn gets elevated to head coach?
Oh, of course.
I hope not. I hope he comes to our defense, but
no.
But Quinn likes being in the booth, though. That's the problem. He likes to be that eye in the sky,
and I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. I have never, ever wanted him up there. I've wanted him on the sideline just for that fire that he gives his guys motivationally when he's in front of them, slapping them on the shoulder pads, saying, get in there, do this, good job. I mean, you can call him on the phone. It's a total different story, but I can see where he wants to be. But you've got iPads now. You've got everything. You can see the field.
Yeah,
I get why, the stress might be up there when you're down on the field or you have less stress up in the booth. But I mean, as a coach, you need to be there on the sideline. You need to be there on the sideline. I could understand having one of my assistants up there feeding me everything.
Right.
And not the coordinator.
Yeah. But you're my guy. You are number 2 in command of this team. And I need you right here to split this sideline with me so that my offense knows I'm on this side, you're on that side, and when we meet in the middle, we can discuss everything that we have to right then and there. I don't need to go pick up a phone.
I will say this. When I got out of the military, I coached high school football for a season. Okay, I'm not going to say it's just like the NFL. I mean, it's still football, but obviously different scale. I was the quarterback's coach. The offense coordinator was on the sideline. When I got the one opportunity to be on the sideline as the offense coordinator, I will say this: if I ever became an offensive coordinator, I would want to be in the booth. There is so much. I mean, and I think it's a preference thing too, because the enemy likes to be on the sidelines. He does not like to be, because same reason why True wants what's the name? Campbell will be on there. Is it Campbell? Not Campbell. That's Detroit. Quinn. You could see everything. As an offensive coordinator, you could see where the blitz is coming. You could count the linebackers. You could see the stunts. You could see the disguising and the coverage. I mean, it's night and day.
Yeah, from an offensive side, I totally get that. From a defensive side, no.
Okay.
From the offensive side,
and I can't speak for
that. From the defensive side, I want to be there on the sideline with my guys in the trenches saying, hey, this is what's going to happen. Like I said, you've got all that, and I just feel that it would be better that way. But, it's just, that's my preference. And I know there's some other guys out there that just say, he needs to be up. No, I want you on my sideline. I want you with Micah Parsons. I want you out there with your captains. I want you showing them point blank on these, pads saying, this is where you screwed up at.
Yeah.
Because you can't do that from up there.
I actually brought this up at work today, because there's a female who's a Cowboys fan was talking about the unfortunate years that the Dallas Cowboys have since their last Super Bowl. And I made a comment. I said, this could be the curse of the Jimmy Johnson, because of the fact that now, granted, he did, he
won a Super Bowl after.
Jerry did win one, but it was with Jerry's guys or Jimmy's guys, right? And the fact that Jerry Jones is the only owner in NFL history that I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, that has fired a coach that has won back-to-back Super Bowls because egos. I was going to say something else. Egos got in the way of success. Now, let's say Jerry Jones would have done something similar like Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft, he just lays in the cut.
Yeah.
And he's like, yo, I want Lombardis.
Yeah. And massages.
Yes. And massages. Him and Watson. Let me stop. Allegedly. And the fact that, and I want to bring this up because we do got to talk about Philly, even though Jamie's not here. The fact that Jerry is going to lie to Jimmy's I'm going to say lie because it hasn't happened yet, right? He's going to lie to well, let me stop back. He hasn't lied. But Jerry is going to say to Jimmy Johnson to his face, you were there with alligator tears coming down his eye. We're gonna put you in the wall of fame. When?
Yeah.
When?
Yeah, and I saw another recent interview with him, and I mean, yeah, you're right. I was there at the Hall of Fame game.
It's a touchy subject with him now.
Yeah, I mean, I was there at the Hall of Fame game, while he was in the booth right there on the NFL Network, 15 feet away, and with Troy Aikman sitting right there, right by his side.
All three of them crying.
And I just was like, all right, now 3 years later, here we are. And I'm saying to myself, what has changed? And even being at the game when Jimmy Johnson was getting his Hall of Fame ring and his little speech there, and I'm standing there in the Miller Lite Club looking at him and looking up at the big screen, and he said, "How about them Cowboys one last time in front of everybody?" I said, "All right, this has to be it. There's going to be something that falls here that shows, that there's his name on the Ring of Honor," and it didn't happen, and it still hasn't happened, and it's not shocking. It's unbelievable. I think is the easiest thing for me to say. It's unbelievable to this day.
Well, I could keep this part going. I could talk about the curse of Jimmy Johnson forever, but we do have one more game, even though Philly isn't here. The Philadelphia Eagles beat the Rams. And that's all we got to talk about. That's all we got to say, Blue.
They won. Who cares?
Yeah, that's it. They won.
Well, I'm gonna delve into something that I've been hearing these pundits, and I'm hearing everybody talking. I'm hearing about this, this push at the goal line. This push.
Yeah.
Is it going to be outlawed? And Philly, he's defending it and everything, and I'm like, how does for everybody that says they're smart out there, who's a pundit, how do they not know? One, the NFL Philadelphia Eagles have a big following where? In Australia.
Yeah.
Who do they have on their offensive line as a football player?
Yeah. He played rugby.
What do you think these guys have been teaching his fellow teammates to do for the past 2 years?
Exactly.
I can't believe the NFL, all these talking heads still can't even put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there in amazement like, come on, guys. Come on. Somebody's going to have to say it. So I'm saying it right now. Come on, guys. We can make this a rugby game, or we can make this NFL football.
Yeah.
So are you saying ban it?
Yeah.
Huh?
You're saying ban it?
Hell yeah, I'm saying ban it. Hell yeah, I'm saying
everybody's trying it now. Everybody's
right.
trying it now.
Oh, yeah, we tried it too, and it failed.
And not only that, and I'm not saying,
people are getting hurt.
But yeah, our guys got hurt doing that.
Well,
yeah, our guys got hurt. Yeah,
I don't care. I don't care if you're so creative at running it. I don't care if you keep running it. I don't care if you're the best at running. Nobody else can do it because nobody knows how. No, this is NFL football. This is American football. This is you're talking about injuries that are coming out and. It's not just the injuries that are coming out of the other teams that are trying it. How many injuries are being created? Remember, there's no chop blocking on the offensive lineman, but you can chop block and go down at the ankles of defensive linemen and linebackers.
Right.
Yeah.
Come on, guys, get with it. Get real.
Yep.
If this stuff is going to continue, I'm sure somebody's going to take a cheap shot out there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, if they haven't already.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
So we're getting close. Let's get to the games this week. First game, 1:00 is the Commanders against Atlanta. I got Atlanta favored. I mean, they're home
2.5
by 3. Well, I got 3 points.
Okay.
And the over/under is 42. What are you? You want to go first?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. I think I would love to see the Commanders come out and actually win this game. But I think it's going to be our 4th loss in a row. I think Ron Rivera is going to be gone after this week. I think Eric Bieniemy is going to be elevated to head coach. I think we lose. I think it's going to be close. I wouldn't be surprised if somehow, some way, Taylor Heineke makes it into the game and just destroys us. I'm thinking it's going to be a 28-27 game. I think they drive and end up kicking a game-winning field goal like they did last week.
True, what you got?
I'll take Atlanta in this one as well. I'll take Atlanta. They played good ball last weekend. You know, I know it was, you know, not a game everybody thought was going to be good, but they did some good things on the field. And apparently that kid that's at QB hasn't lost a home game since college. So
yeah.
There's that. But I have it, you know, under. I have it around 28 to 8. As funny as that sounds.
Hey, I'm glad I'm not going to this game.
In my office pool, I picked the Commanders to win. I think what's going to happen, he's going to hurt his right knee, and then number 17, Doug Williams, is going to come in, and he's going to win. You know, he's going to throw 4 touchdowns in the second quarter. Yeah, and they're going to win 42-10. That's the over.
Yes, I love it.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Nice.
But I really did pick them in my office pool. I'm like, I don't know. I just have a feeling they're gonna. I'm going off the defense, and I'm thinking, you know, and then I came up with the Doug Williams because I don't know. I'm still
off our defense. Ugh.
Let's see who has the next game. Nope. I think it's me.
Yeah.
Me. Oh God, we're in Buffalo.
Yep.
All right, I'll go.
Sunday night, right?
No. Oh, that is a Sunday night game. Oh, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
So, and you got Monday night, right? True.
Yeah, I got Monday night.
Yeah.
So then it has to be Philly. It's Philly. Okay, so let's do Philly. Okay, I'll go first. Jets will beat them. Let's see. The over/under is 41. I'll say 7-3 Jets.
They're playing in Philly, right?
Nah, in New York, I thought.
No, they're playing in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna get the. I'm lying. I picked Philly in my office poll. I just don't want to.
I know.
I picked Philly. They're gonna win. It's probably gonna be like 28-14. I don't want to lie to you guys.
I have Zach coming out for the Jets, throwing some TDs around, slinging that ball around like he did the other game.
I hope so.
I think his team's going to be.
But that Broncos game, they had a little extra sauce on that one. They did. A little. They gave that coach the game ball too.
Well, I'm talking about the game before that when he was slinging the ball. They lost that game Sunday Night Football, but he was slinging that ball around, and I think he's going to come out and do that at home. It's going to be a close one, but I'm rooting for the Jets. Don't get me wrong.
So
I'm rooting for the Jets, but yeah, it'll be a closer game. But I think Zach's going to come out, and I'm going to put it at 31-27.
Okay.
31-27 Eagles.
Jets.
Oh, I like it.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I think it's going to be I think this might be Philadelphia's first true test against a good defense. I see it being a defensive game. I think it's going to be low scoring. I think maybe 13-10 Eagles. Yeah, I don't see the Eagles.
So you're saying it's going to be an NFC East game?
Yeah.
On a home field of the AFC team
in the Meadowlands.
In the Meadowlands.
Yeah. So yeah, I say Eagles win 13-10.
We know what Philly's going to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know.
56-0.
It'd be Philly 87 to, you know. Yeah. Oh my God. I just saw so of course I picked the Giants. I'm gonna get this over with, and because I know which way you guys are going. I'm assuming. I could be wrong. I'm looking here. The over/under is 45, and they got Bills favored by 2 touchdowns, 2 full touchdowns. So this is where I would, if I was a betting man, I'd pick the Giants. Well, I mean, I am a betting man, and I am going to pick the Giants. So 21-17.
I got the Bills. Man,
Over 40?
yeah. I think it's gonna be. You said what was the point total? 40?
45. Over under 45.
I think it's gonna be 42-3.
Yeah, I don't see the Giants don't have to travel. It's right up the road.
Yeah.
So I don't see that big of I don't see that difference. I still think the Bills are going to pull it out with all the injuries that the Giants currently have.
Plus, they are coming back from England. So
that's right.
Yeah, that.
Who's that?
The Bills.
The Bills.
Yeah,
jet lag.
Yeah. So
Hopefully.
That's still fine. I'm still going to take the Bills, but it's not going to be as high scoring as. And if it's windy, I don't know if it's going to be windy with that front moving across the states. So I'm going to put it. I'll put it around maybe 33-16.
That's our point average. That's what we average a game. So, well, that's it. That's the show, guys. Oh, wait, we got one more game? That's right.
Monday Night Football, baby.
Monday night. From Sunday night to Monday night.
That's another thing the NFL needs to work on.
You want to go first? Or you want to be last, too?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
We're missing our center. He's going to be out, I'm pretty sure, this game. Van Der Esch is out. We've got some linebackers that are coming to visit. The Chargers are no joke, and of course, it's going to want to be payback for Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is going to want to hit us hard, and he knows.
I'm about to say, he circled this one.
Oh yeah, he circled it. But I think the Cowboys are going to play a little bit tighter defense than they have been. They should be getting up there, with the score. I'm hoping that Dak realizes his error.
The over-under is 51.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying I hope he notices the errors of the ways that he did in the San Fran game. And I hope our running game picks it up a little bit. We still need a bell cow back there as a running back. I don't think Pollard's going to be able to carry that load. And I don't see him doing it. But I'm still going to take the Cowboys in this one. I'm going to take them 33-24.
Pork rind?
I got Cowboys winning 38-35.
Oh, I got the Chargers. And I actually picked the Chargers. And we don't do the score at work. I just picked so I'll say 28-20. It'll be under. It'll be just under. 28-20 Chargers. It's going to be a close game throughout, but they'll because it's in Los Angeles. Yep. So it's to finish.
It's going to be an interesting one. So
it will. And Herbert's still injured too. He has that fractured finger. On his non-throwing hand, but an injury is an injury. I don't care.
Now
he's still have to take those snaps.
Yeah, he's playing.
Okay.
You still have to take those snaps.
Yeah, definitely do.
Oh, hold on. We got Yankee. He says, I'm picking Chargers. Cowboys losing made me some cash. Oh my. I guess it's all about the clicks. What can I say? Well, I mean, we're a little bit over. But you know what? It's still all good because that's just what it is. So I'll speak for Philly. We'll see y'all next week. Until then,
hail to the Redskins.
How about them Cowboys?
Sorry, Commanders.
Yeah, I'll be